Today, get ready to seeding early wild rye, and we're going to show you how to use a Vicon Seeder, which can seed fluffy seeds and bent seeds, and mixes of all three. Vicon's a pretty simple machine. You got your hopper here, and that's where we'll put the seed. Show you the inside of that here in a bit. You've got your tractor hookups here. You got a PTO shaft here. It's a 3-point on the tractor. You've got an adjustment arm here that adjusts, opens and closes your seeder. You adjust your seeding rate with this white knob here. On the back, you have a seeder arm, or the tail as we call it. It's a hollow pipe, and it'll go back and forth. That's what disperses your seed out on the ground. Inside of the hopper was an agitator, and we'll show you a little bit more on that agitator later. I guess we'll go ahead and show you how to hook the Vicon Seeder to a tractor. Get the tractor back up. Put the bottom hitch in here. Bring your top plate down. Put your top link in. Put your keeper in. Then you've got your PTO shaft. Hook it to the tractor. That's how you hook the Vicon up. You're a 3-point type attachment. Line raise it up about there. Now it's time to kind of fine tune it for your seed. The agitator is this right here. And the way the Vicon works, as you turn the PTO shaft, the agitator will go back and forth like this, and that really agitates your seed. We don't need to use the agitator for this seed. The goal is to get it out of that hole there in the bottom. And you change the size of that hole by the adjuster over there. We'll show you in a bit. Since we don't need the agitator, we'll go ahead and remove that. And you take that spring loose there and there. And you pull that up there, and you can take that out. Now that will leave this bottom arm, which will rock back and forth and create enough agitation to keep your hole clear from plugging up with sticks or a leaf or something like that. That should be all you need for agitating what we're planting today in the early wild rye. Now we're gonna set the Vicon Seeder up for our seed. We've got the agitator out. The hole here is what's gonna let the seed go down and then come out the spout on the back of the seeder. So our seed here is fairly large, but it's not fluffy. You can tell that size of hole, that seed's really gonna go out of there fast. You wanna calibrate your seed flow by 2 factors: how fluffy your seed is and how fast you're gonna drive your tractor. So we know that we're going to drive our tractor about 4 miles an hour on this field. And the seed that I have here in this bag, this is a pre-weighed out amount of seed for 1 acre of our planting. We're going to do 10 acres today, but this is just 1 acre's worth of seed. We weighed it out to 1 acre so we can calibrate our seeder without getting halfway through our planting and running out of seed. So to do that, put a little bit of seed in there, kind of look at it, decide the size the hole should be. And then you've got your adjuster right down here. This is what adjusts how much seed's gonna come out of your Vicon. You pull your handle back here, that closes the hole off. You set this stopper or this adjuster to about where you think you want it for your seed.
I'd say about there will be right. And you can see the hole size inside of the seeder here now. It's quite a bit smaller than it was. So the seed there it's gonna flow out pretty good, but as we drive 5 miles an hour, it should come out, I think, about right. And that's why you try to preset it with a small amount of seed, because if you're wrong and it comes out too fast or too slow, then you go over your land again or have to go get more seed. So that's how you kind of preset it to your seeder. This arm here I was showing you earlier, that's what opens and closes the hole. So you can use that from the back of your tractor whenever you go in and out of your seeding, or you go over somewhere you've already seeded. You can shut it off by moving that lever, and you can see your hole open and closing there. Forward is always open, back is always closed. That's how you turn it on and off. Here's worth of seed, and we'll go ahead and dump it in the hopper. And a lot of times I like to take a bungee cord or something, a string, rope, bungee cord, put it around the frame of the seeder here and up around your adjustment knob, just so if you hit a sprout or something, it doesn't turn your adjuster knob on you, and that'll kind of lock it into place. So I think now we'll go plant our 1 acre. We've got it laid out, and we'll plant it and see how we come out on seed. A little bit over center. You don't want to get your PTO shaft too much behind by going too high. About there works good. And that is a 6-line 540 PTO, and that we'll run that all the way up about 540 RPM. Works good. If you run it lower than that, you don't spread quite as wide. And in the video there, you can see that you're spreading seed about as little bit outside each tractor tire. That tractor is probably about 8.5 feet wide, so you're getting about 12 foot of spread there. So there in the tractor, he's got a GPS unit. That's how we're determining 1 acre. Whenever he reaches 1 acre, it'll stop. If you was doing this without a GPS unit, you would want to take, there's 43,560 square feet in an acre. So you lay out a certain length in feet, divide that by 43,560 divided by the length, and that'll give you the width. You can flag that out or put bags out there, markers of some sort, and that'll let you know how to set up a 1 acre deal. Okay, he should be about done seeding his 1 acre, come back here looks like. So when he gets back, we'll look in the hopper and see how we come out on our guess of the size of the hole there and our setting on seeding rate. So just got back here, we'll look in the hopper here and see how we come out. Looks like we got just a little bit of seed left in there, not a lot. So I'm gonna say that we come out pretty close. Being it's not solid across this, I'd say he ran out just a little bit before he got to his acre. So we'll go ahead and we'll turn it down a little bit here on the side. Move my bungee cord up here out of the way, close it up a little bit. Now I'd say it doesn't take much adjustment to make a big difference, so we'll try that about there. Now a person would have to decide, we've changed that hole size just a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. We'd have to decide whether we're comfortable going with that setting there, or if we would want to weigh out another acre's worth of seed and try again. I feel like the way we got it set here, we should come out pretty good. If we got a little extra seed, we'll probably plant it in some draws or some steep areas, but we're gonna come out within 4 or 5% of the right amount. We'll drag a tree, and I'll show you the reason why we're gonna drag a tree here in a minute, because of the trash on the ground, but we'll have him back up here and we're gonna hook up to just a plain old seed tree. I guess if you want to turn the Vicon on and get it off as you can tell, that's a pretty big tractor there. It could pull quite a good bit more trees. Some people got a smaller tractor using the Vicon. You don't have to pull just giant cedar trees with it. If you really got a lot of residue on the ground, you can make more passes. A lot of times we will pull a little bigger than that, just kind of break up the trash on the ground. The reason we're pulling a cedar tree, we've got everything's dead. We've got a good clean seed bed, but we don't have a lot of bare ground out here. So the seed that lands here on this right here would have a hard time getting down to the ground to germinate. But when we take that tree and run it across there, the Vicon comes over spreading seed. The cedar tree comes along and brushes that around a little bit. It gets that seed down to the ground. It also is a good way, if you don't have GPS in your tractors, to mark where you've been, because it lays the grass and trash over, sweeps the top of it. Looks like you've taken a broom and sweep the top. That'll let you know where you've been, where you need to turn corners at. So earlier here in the video, we showed you how to get 1 acre's worth of seed out and do a 1 acre portion to make sure you're set right. Whether you do that or there's another way to do that, and we'll show you that here in a minute. And a lot of people choose, if it's pretty expensive seed, just go ahead and do both of them just to make sure you can't get too far off. So this big sack here, we're gonna make a sack. That's what our seed came in today. A lot of times it will come in a smaller bag like this. Most of our orders we send out will go out in this kind of bag. These hold usually 50 pounds, but check the weight that'll be on the tag or wrote on the bag. If they come in this kind of bag, it's easier to split up into quarters is what we recommend. So by quarters, I mean you take 1/4 of your seed, put it in one pile, 1/4 in another pile, 1/4 in another pile, 1/4 in another pile. So then you've got your seed designated out in quarters. Take your field and separate it out. You can do this by measuring, you can do this by guessing. Google Earth is a good place to go to measure that out into quarters. Then once you get your seed divided out into quarters, if it's in a large bag like this, a lot of times you can fill a smaller bag or 5-gallon buckets work. You don't actually have to divide it out, but pull you out a 5-gallon bucket. Try to guess how many 5-gallon buckets you've got in your bag total. Or another way, you know how much seed you bought, so you can weigh out a 5-gallon bucket. And then you know that there's 35-gallon buckets, for instance, in here. And then you can do 30 divided by 4 to figure out how many 5-gallon buckets to put on a quarter of your area. So that's how we recommend you do it, divide it into quarters.